Hi everybody, welcome to another Saturday night rally on the spot. Tonight I'll be looking at a different topic. Last week we dealt with shrimps, right, and we spoke to Sir Colin from Australia. Today another interested fish farm member who have actually dedicated a lot of his time in the fish keeping business, time in the fish keeping hobby, right? Today I speak about none other than Mr. Prolific Breed himself. Okay, so here we go. Stay tuned. Hi, Mr. Prolific. I call you Prolific, right? I hope that's okay with you, Mr. Prolific. Alright, so hi, Mr. Prolific. What's up?
Raleigh, thanks for inviting me to chat with you about guppies.
First, I would like to say thank you for accepting the invitation to be on this channel as we share ideas and thoughts with regards to fish keeping. Now, today our topic is about guppy, right? And being that you are familiar with breeding, caring, and managing guppy stock, I would like to engage you in a discussion.
I know I can talk for days about this subject. Guppies are a great fish for beginners, as well as the experience in the fish hobby.
So, Mr. Pro, basically every fish room or probably every fish keeper, one day in their life they probably have kept guppies, right? Regardless of how astute or prolific their fish keeping hobby exists right now. Why do you think guppies are such popular fish within the fish keeping hobby?
Guppies are a good species to jump into and learn the basics of fish keeping. Nothing beats the sight of a large guppy colony in a fish tank. They add so much color and activity. You can watch the tank for days.
At one point in time, I had fed them to my larger fish.
Guppies are a good beginner fish to get a person into the hobby.
That is so true.
I think they are popular because of the price point for entry to someone who's just starting out. Once they breed, they give the fish keeper a lot of confidence. They would also throw out 1 million babies for you. Some people start to feel like master breeders. For example, with this red colony right here, I only started out with 5, 3 females and 2 males, and this is everyone. Well, I have 2 tanks of them now. This is everyone in this tank, and I have another tank. But I'm growing out this colony out of 5 fishes. You could even start with just 2 and build a whole colony. I think that's amazing. For guppies,
I mean, like, you have a guppy female and she will spit out like between 1 to 45 fries every 28 days. And even if you separate her from the male, it will take probably about 6 to 7 months before the guppy actually, stop breeding. Because as you all know, live bearers can keep the mint of the male in them and determine when they do get pregnant. How is it for you where you are at? For me in Jamaica, along with mullet and swordtail, guppies are like a dime a dozen. They are very cheap, right? So therefore, if I should do breed a few, it would be like less than, when you work it out, less than $1. I would actually have to sell them to the pet shop for. But I keep them because of its beauty, not necessarily because of the monetary reward. These are one of the cheapest fish within the fish keeping hobby. I think the main reason for this is partly due to its ability to breed very rapidly, frequently, or whatever term you might use to describe the whole prolific breeding habit, right? In Jamaica, guppies and other live bearers, such as mollies and swordtails, are used by government ministry as a means of managing mosquitoes along the waterways, right? I did a video a few months back where I looked at fish in gullies and drains, right? These are some of the very same fish in these gullies and drains. What they do is eat the larvae and the egg of the mosquito as they lay in the waterway, whether it be gutters, drains, gullies, you name it, right? As a small boy growing up, right, in the city, it was really cool for me to actually see the boys in the community actually go in the gully. I couldn't go in the gully because my mother would deal with me, right? So I was amazed standing up one side, seeing them going in the gully and catching the fish, and they would have them in little ponds in their yard, but I couldn't get any because my mother was against the whole idea of anything in the gully. That's just not good, right? So I was afraid to go. As I said before, my mother would tenderize me very much, as if you want to, you know, really cook some food, right? So I never really attempt that feat, that adventure. Mr. Prolific, by any chance, do you know if endless are the same as guppies? Because when you look at endless, you will realize that some of the coloration in endless are practically like similar in pattern. Are they different? Share with me what you think.
I can see how people can mix the two. They look very similar in shape and size.
So with regards to breeding guppies, do you like breed guppies according to strain? Do you like okay, I want a purple and a red tail, so therefore you set up your system in such a way that you end up, you have a tank full of red tail guppies, or purple or yellow or whatever color? Do you do that?
I have tried to create my own strain with metallic dumble fin guppies, but it takes a long time to get the strain to straighten out and to consistently breed the same pattern. I had to make room, and I gave them away to a good friend. The practice of making new strains, in my opinion, is good. For example, you see a lot of koi variety being available to the public now. Some of these strains were just developed the past couple of years. For example, the tuxedo red koi guppies that Twin City Guppy shared with us recently look stunning. You guys should go on YouTube and search for Twin City Guppies. Kang Lee shared the tuxedo red koi guppies. They look awesome. It's good to have these new varieties developed. It keeps the hobby interesting.
Do you know as to the reason why guppies are so varied in color? It amazed me because when I think that I've actually seen everything. I mean, I've seen Japanese guppy, and they are expensive, by the way, right? And they have some very nice tail. You wouldn't believe that these guppies would be so expensive, but they are very good, looking very excellent, nice, right? What do you think? And I know it's a lot of questions, but it's a topic that have fascinated me in a long bit, and I just really want to hear another individual's opinion.
Yes, these are good questions. Color are so varied because of mixing different genes. When you throw multiple strains together, the breeding creates all sorts of mutations. With the mutations, the breeder can selectively breed for his or her desired characteristics. For me, I try to go for solid colors, and my main colonies are albinos, albino full reds and albino platinum guppies. I keep the strains separate so they will breed true and keep the albino eyes and coloration. Recently, I bought some new strains to breed out. With these strains, I paid more money because they have already been worked on, and all I need to do is maintain what has already been established. It would take many generations to straighten out a strain if you started from scratch. I try to sell my excess guppies privately so others can enjoy the strains that I have been working on. Raleigh, thanks for inviting me to chat with you about guppies.
Now, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for watching my channel. At the description below, you'll see a link to Prolific Breed. Right? He is very knowledgeable of guppies, and I implore that you check him out, like, share, and subscribe. Right? Do have a wonderful evening. Peace. Irene. Jamaica. Yeah, man.